What a privilege to invite you just to spend a few more minutes with me today as I just share a little concept from God's Word. You know, people are so concerned about their safety. There's such fear-mongering right now with COVID and all the riots we've had here in South Africa, the uncertainty of everything. And I want to just remind you of this. The safest place to be is the will of God. You see, because Genesis chapter 50 and verse 20 makes this statement, and the context to this statement was the fact that Joseph had been sold as a slave by his brothers. He had been falsely accused by his employers, thrown in prison. He was a guy that had a real tough time. And here's his response when he's faced with his brothers. He makes this statement after many years. He says, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." May I encourage you with this today and just say this: while your enemies are planning your downfall and your demise, remember this: God already has set your destiny and my destiny as we submit to Him. That's the beauty of knowing that we're in the will of God when we submit to Him and to Him alone. You see, it's easy to get so caught up in the things that are happening in the world that we actually forget who sets our destiny. Now listen to this from the book of Psalms, chapter 46, and I'd like to read this for you from verse 1 and 2. He says, "O God, you're such a safe place to find refuge, a proven help in the time of trouble, more than enough and always available when I need you." Next verse he says, "Even if every structure that I know crumbles, I know that you won't forsake me." And then in verse 10 of that Psalm 46, he says this: "Surrender your anxieties to the Lord." I encourage you to do that today, because the safest place is in the will of God. And then you know, regardless of what people want to do, even when they mean it for evil, God will turn it to good. He did it right throughout the 66 books of the Bible. He's done it through thousands of years of history, and He'll still do it for you and I today. I remind you so clearly just to focus on the fact that what people want to do to undermine you, remember, or to harm you, remember that God will have the last say when we depend on Him. What people mean for evil, God will turn to good. You are His prized possession. He loves you.